When people say onboarding, they usually mean day one. The laptop, system access, induction slides, our manager saying, "Welcome, we are happy you are here." And I get that. That's the visible part. But that's not whole onboarding. Not really. That's one piece of a bigger process, and if we keep treating it like the whole thing, we will keep getting the same outcome. Good people join, and 6 months later, you are surprised they are disengaged or already looking elsewhere. Because by the time someone reaches day one, the organization has already taught them something. How clear you are, how responsive you are, how decisions seem to get made, whether humans still matter. So, when I say onboarding starts earlier than day one, I'm not being philosophical here, I'm being practical. I will let you know how. Onboarding is the process that in other words you can say protects your investment that you made when you hired someone, and is one of the strongest drivers of engagement and finally retention, because turnover is expensive, especially the specialist talent that you still need in this age. Either way, it costs you. So the question is not should we do onboarding. The question is, are we doing the full process or just doing the admin part and calling it onboarding? Here is how I actually think about it and I work on it. For me, it has three parts: the pre-boarding, orientation, and onboarding. And most organizations collapse all three into one day. That's where the problem starts. How this became clear to me? I have worked inside hiring and people systems, and what I kept noticing is that people did not arrive on day one as a blank page. They arrived with a working theory of the organization, not because someone sat them down and explained it, because systems always communicate. How? Through silence, through delays, through how clean or messy the process is, through whether someone actually reaches out and says, "We are ready for you." And here is the part most organizations miss: that window between offer acceptance and day one is not that time. It's the first phase of onboarding. It's, it's pre-boarding. Pre-boarding happens after the offer is accepted and before the person starts. Sometimes it is 2 weeks, sometimes it's a month, depends. And most companies, they underuse it. They think, let them wrap up their current job, or we don't want to bother them, or we will handle everything when they arrive. But pre-boarding is not supposed to be heavy. Of course, it's not a training program. It's a few intentional touch points that reduce uncertainty and signal, we are thinking about you, we are prepared, we are looking forward to you arriving. And there is another very real reason to take it seriously from organizational perspective: ghosting. This is where situation where somewhere accepts the offer and then disappears because a better offer came in, or a counter offer happened, or priorities change. You can't control that. But if you keep contact during pre-boarding, making experience smooth for them and making difficulties less for you, you can know that. So it's nice and also smart, and it's simple. A short welcome message from the manager, a quick intro to our body, and journal answer questions about the first day, like parking, dress code, start time, lunch, getting their name right for the email, badges, and systems. Sometimes even a welcome video from a leader. These are small touches, but this send high signal, low effort, and most of it can be prepared in a little time and even often reused. So next is the orientation. What it is? It's usually a one-time event, first day or maybe first week, often run by HR. This is where you cover the employee-centric essentials, company context, and culture basics, benefits, policies, payroll and compliance, paperwork. Does it matter? Yes, it matters because it removes friction. It clears admin noise so the person can actually focus on their job. But orientation is not onboarding, it's one slice of the process, and ideally orientation happens anytime someone is new to a role, whether that's a new hire, a transfer, or a promotion. The length might change, but here is still an orientation moment going to be. Then onboarding, the real work, it takes longer. This is the third phase. May even last for months, sometimes even for a year. That surprises people, but it shouldn't. Because onboarding is the period where someone becomes part of the organization. It's where engagement actually starts. And part of why it can take longer. Many organizations run on cycles. You don't fully understand how a business works until you live through the real moments, like annual events, peak seasons, major planning cycles. This always happens every quarter reality. You can hear about those things for months, but until you experience them firsthand, you don't truly understand how your role connects to the organization day after day. That's why onboarding can't be rushed. What onboarding actually is doing, especially when it's done well, it tends to revolve around three things. First, the person is learning their job. Training, yes, but also work exposure that builds confidence, and understanding impact, how what they do affects other teams, customers, and outcomes. Second, they are building a working relationship with their manager. Even when someone is promoted and keeps the same manager, the relationship changes. Expectations change, delegation changes, what you talk about changes. And third, they are building positive working relationships across the organization. Sometimes people spend more time working cross functionally. And those relationships are not optional. They are how work gets done. And ideally, each phase builds on the previous one. Pre Preboarding reduces uncertainty before day one. Orientation removes admin friction early. Onboarding integrates the person into the real system of work over time. So, what's the cost of getting this wrong? If you get onboarding wrong, poor onboarding usually doesn't make people leave immediately, of course, but it makes them hesitate. They hold back judgment. They wait longer to act. And they are, if you look at the discretionary effort, it reduces as well. They are capable, but they're cautious now. Exit is gonna come later maybe, and when it does, then organizations often say we hired well, but it didn't work out. In reality, the system never showed them how to work well here, how this connects to the bigger system. Hiring selects people, onboarding integrates them, and next comes the managers that bring clarity, their capacity, and their ability to make the real roles visible. That's where we will move next, because no onboarding approach is going to work if managers themselves are overloaded and operating inside ambiguity. So we started with hiring, we moved to onboarding, and next we will move to how managers can really make it work. So if you have any question regarding onboarding, how you can make your employees on board well so they understand your culture and system and they're integrated in a way so they become productive for organization sooner, I'm always happy to help with that. Feel free to reach me out, and thank you for listening.